Hi everybody, if you're watching this video, I'm hoping it's because you're interested in our bait, and I appreciate that very much. Wanted to explain our bait just a little bit and why we do what we do. This is a 50-pound block minus what I've already cut off of our bait, and this is how we ship it. Here it is wrapped up. This is how you'll get it when you buy it. We're doing 50-pound blocks for two reasons. First and foremost, it saves $8 to $9 per box on labor and machinery when we ship it like this. And just as importantly, the second reason is you can cut this any way you want. The first time we showed it to a professional crawfisherman, we used to cut it in thin sheets, pre-cut it for everybody. First thing he said when he looked at it, he says, "Can you make it look like this?" He did that because that's what he's familiar with, and it works. Everybody wants familiarity. Our primary tester in Maine likes to cut it the size of herring. That's what he puts in his traps. He does something similar to this. That's about the size of herring and pogie they use in their traps. What we found with our product is the easiest, most practical way to cut it. We've used about everything under the sun, from expensive knives, saws, band saws, and on, is a very cheap $10 drywall tape knife. With some practice, you can get very good at this. Just going to show you a good example. You got to kind of bear down on it here because it's pretty dense. There you go. Here's one sheet. Here's a little thicker. I did that intentionally. Here's a thin sheet I cut. You can cut it very thinly. Once you get it to this point, it's extremely easy to work with. You can do it this way. You can continue on, either break it with your hand or use your knife to cube it. So the possibilities of cutting this are infinite. I do tell everybody to think outside the box. This is different. It's going to work regardless of how you cut it. In theory, especially in bait nets and bait boxes, which the lobstermen and crabbers use, thin sheets like this are going to put off more odor than, say, this. There's more surface area exposed to the water to put off the odor, even though this is going to work fine, but there's so much on the inside. Something else you need to remember too, I think the crawfishermen are very concerned about overbaiting their traps because the bait gets so expensive. It does for everybody. This is going to dissolve 24 hours or so, whether you catch crawfish or not. This will not dissolve. It stays in the trap within reason until it's eaten. So even if you put a little bit more in than you intended to, it's going to be there the next day and the next day till it's completely gone. So invest in one of these. It'll do a good job for you, I promise you. We've used this one for years, and it's never let us down. Just some helpful tips. If you have any questions or any suggestions, please contact us at Bruneaux Bait.